Even the smallest tweaks in our makeup application can make a major difference. Really? Yes, really. Instead of feeling this way about our makeup, we can feel this way. So today I'll share some mini makeup artist tips that can make a maxi difference. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you've joined us today. And if you're already part of this family, welcome back and thank you. My name is Elise, and I launched my third act as a makeup artist so I could help those of us over 50 feel supported, celebrated, and look fabulous. So whether you're new to makeup, you've never worn much makeup, or have worn makeup but realize that what worked for you in your 20s and 30s isn't working as well for you now, you'll find a welcoming home on this channel. Every Thursday, you'll find makeup tips, techniques, and product suggestions specifically for mature skin, and we occasionally also dip our toes into the worlds of fashion and health and wellness. Well, let's start with our brows today. If, like many of us, including me, you're dealing with sparse brows and or white and gray brow hairs and would like some help with these issues, these two videos, which I've linked in the pinned comment section below and in the description box, will answer many of your questions. Because today we're going to specifically be focusing on eyebrow color. To find the eyebrow color that's best for you, it really is important to consider your hair color, eye color, and skin tone, and choose a shade that complements your natural features rather than perfectly matches your hair. Probably the most important consideration is finding a color that goes with the undertone of your skin. If you have a warm undertone, look for brow colors that contain warm undertones such as light or dark browns with golden or reddish hues. If you have a cool undertone like I do, opt for brow colors that have ashy or taupe undertones and avoid anything too warm that might clash with your natural coloring. If you have a neutral skin undertone, you can experiment with both warm and cool brow colors, which is really a wonderful advantage. And if you have quite a bit of gray or white in your brows, you can either go with gray shades or taupe shades, or you can stick with what your former hair color was. And that's because it's really up to you on what kind of brow look you want and what you feel most comfortable with. And by the way, if you'd like to find brow pencils and powders in a variety of gray shades, be sure to check out the products from the company I embrace. It's one of the few companies that specializes in brow products that work for those of us with white and gray brows. You'll find a link for I Embrace in the description box, and if you use the promo code ELISE, you'll also get 5% off your purchase. Well, just to show you how important it can be to find a brow shade that works with the undertone of your skin, let me do a quick demonstration. I'm going to remove the cool brow color on one of my eyebrows and switch to a warmer shade so you can see what a positive difference it makes to go with a brow shade that works best with the undertone of your skin. So with my micellar water, I'm going to remove this brow. And as you can see, I have a lot of white and gray brow hairs, and also quite a sparse brow area. And look how quickly and easily micellar water gets rid of that makeup. I'll go ahead and apply the powder shade Hazelnut from this Transitions palette from Dominique Cosmetics. And over it, I'll apply the Glossier Boy Brow in a warm shade. And as you can see, this is quite a bit warmer. And I'm actually mixing it with a more neutral color, so it's not quite as warm. So the powder is giving me the basic shape, and now I'm going to apply the Glossier Boy Brow in the warm shade. And this is a product like e.l.f.'s Wow Brow that has some additional fibers to give some volume to the brows. So as you can see, this warm color is a far cry from the undertone of my skin, which is very cool. This warm shade definitely clashes with the cool undertone of my skin, which creates a noticeable contrast that makes my eyebrows really appear unnatural. But it could be a perfect shade for you if you have a warm undertone. And if you're not sure of the undertone of your skin, be sure to check out this video as well. Let's now move on to our eyelashes. There are two tips that can really make a big difference in helping our lashes look fuller, thicker, and longer. First, it's always important to start at the base of our lashes when we apply mascara, but it is a little challenging to actually get down to that base or root of our eyelashes. So lifting the skin of our eyelid with our finger or a brush so we can actually coat the bottom or root area of our lashes really helps our lashes look their best. Second, it's important to prevent mascara from clumping, which I think we'd all agree clumping is not our best look. So here are some tips. Instead of pumping the mascara, swirl the wand inside the tube to avoid introducing air, because air can dry out the mascara and lead to clumping. Introducing air by pumping mascara can also increase the risk of bacteria growth, which we definitely want to avoid. And this next eyelash step is hard to do since most of us want to apply our makeup as quickly as possible. But another way to prevent our mascara from clumping is to build up the mascara gradually in thin layers. And the especially hard part of building up mascara gradually in thin layers is that we want to allow each coat of mascara to dry before we apply the next coat. And this last step is also an extremely important way to prevent clumping. Use a clean spoolie to comb through the lashes after applying each coat of mascara. This helps to separate the lashes. Now, as you can see, I don't have mascara on one of my eyes, so let's go ahead and use these tips to make sure that there's no clumping. First, I'll curl my lashes, then I'll swirl the mascara in the tube rather than pumping it. I'll lift my eyelids so I can apply mascara as close to the root of my lashes as possible. Then I'll run a spoolie through my lashes and let the lashes dry before applying a second coat of mascara. The next makeup artist tip is to apply an inner corner highlight to the inner corner of the eye. By doing this, we can make our eyes appear larger, more awake, and add a touch of glamour to our overall makeup look. The key is to use a small, precise brush to apply the eyeshadow and to blend it seamlessly in with the rest of our eye makeup. I'm going to go ahead and use this wonderful new My True Beauty eyeshadow palette from Shirley of Shirley's Box of Chocolates and Doll 10. It has a beautiful inner corner highlight called Gentle. I'm going to do the inner corner and then also blend up and in. I especially love this next tip for two different reasons. First, it helps speed up our makeup application, and second, it helps fulfill a cardinal rule for creating a really upscale and professional makeup look. And that cardinal rule is to apply makeup in thin layers. Applying makeup in thin layers helps us create a natural, flawless look that does not look heavy or cakey. It also allows for better blending, prevents makeup from settling into fine lines, and ensures precise coverage. So here's a tip for applying thin layers. Rather than applying moisturizer and highlighter in two separate steps, mix a little highlighter into the moisturizer. This will definitely cut down the amount of product that we're using and the number of layers of makeup we're applying to our skin. I'll use high-end Charlotte Tilbury products on one side and drugstore products from Versed and e.l.f. on the other side. First, I'll mix a little Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter into my moisturizer, which is Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream. And I think you can see the nice glow that it's creating over here. And I love the fragrance of the Magic Cream as well. Now, if you don't like fragrance, this is definitely not a product for you. It's not heavy fragrance, and I actually really like it, but it does have some fragrance to it. Such a difference in how my skin feels after applying this. And here is the Versed moisturizer and the e.l.f. highlighter. Now, I've never used these two products together, so hopefully they're compatible. The e.l.f. product is a little bit darker than the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, but they'll look relatively similar. Now, it's interesting that I think I have a little bit more glow on this side where I use the e.l.f. product and the Versed moisturizer. But let's take a look at each side. The Charlotte Tilbury side and the e.l.f. side. This really creates a gorgeous soft glow on both sides. And before we focus on the next tip, I'd so appreciate it if you'd give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it or finding it helpful, and also become a member of our family here by subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you. The next tip applies to face primer. If we want to ensure that our makeup stays in place longer, a good face primer can definitely make a difference, but you don't necessarily have to apply it over your entire face. Instead, you can apply it to the areas of the face where makeup is most likely to move around. This would be the areas of the face where the skin is naturally creased or where the skin experiences a lot of movement, such as around the mouth and the nose. This is especially important for those of us with dry skin, since dryness can cause makeup to separate in these areas. So I'll apply my Tatcha Liquid Canvas Primer just to the areas around my mouth and nose. So it's just going to go here and here. Before we move on to our next tip, I'm going to apply some of my Catrice True Skin Foundation, and I'll be right back. Next up is blush. Now, this is another tip that can actually speed up your makeup application because it once again involves combining two different products. And the look I'm able to create by doing this is a look that I feel is especially important for those of us with mature skin. That's because when we get older, we lose some of that beautiful natural glow to our skin that we had when we were younger. So adding some glow is a wonderful way to brighten our complexion so that it looks healthier, softer, and more supple, and helps diminish the look of fine lines and wrinkles, which is no small thing either. In an earlier tip, we combine moisturizer with highlighter to create some glow, and we can also add glow by combining a little highlighter with cream or liquid blush. But before I apply the blush mixed with highlighter, I want to share the most important tip for blush, which is how we actually apply the blush. Rather than rubbing it across our cheeks, we need to tap it onto our skin. Tapping blush onto the skin is generally preferred over rubbing because it minimizes potential irritation and is more gentle on sensitive skin. But it also allows for more precise application and blending, which creates a more natural, subtle look. And it also allows for better absorption of the product into the skin. And probably most important is that the tapping motion doesn't disturb any makeup underneath. So that's a whole boatload of reasons on why tapping can work so much better when we apply our blush. Now let me go ahead and tap on the blush mixed with highlighter. On one side, I'll tap in a combination of Saie Beauty's gel highlighter, which is one of my very favorites, with Tower 28's cream blush in the shade Party Hour. And this is what it looks like when I combine the highlighter with the blush. I'm just going to tap it in with my finger to begin with, and then I'll tap with a brush. And on the other side, I'll tap on a combination of two drugstore products, e.l.f.'s Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Boldface Lilac and e.l.f.'s Halo Glow Liquid Filter. And here's what these two products look like mixed together. These I'm just going to tap on this side. And you can see how easily this blends in this way without disturbing the makeup underneath. This is the e.l.f. side, and this is the Tower 28 Saie Beauty Gel Highlighter side. And I think this also demonstrates how much more pigment liquid blush has than cream blush. If you want a stronger blush look, you really need to apply quite a bit of the cream with the highlighter. Our next focus is lips, and I have two tips for our lips. Although we most likely don't want to go back to the dark, bold, strong lip liner look of the 80s that was popularized by Madonna, defining the outer edges of the lips with a slightly darker color than our lipstick can help our lips look larger. It can also look really beautiful to create a softer looking gradient by filling in a larger area of the lips with a soft wash of lip liner and then applying a slightly lighter color over it. But before I do that, I want to enhance the look of my bottom lip by helping it look slightly larger. I'll take a small amount of my Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour on a small brush and apply it just under the bottom center lip line. This creates the look of a shadow, which expands the footprint of our lower lip so that it looks larger. This can be an especially helpful tip as we get older, since our lips do get smaller. Now, as you can see, it certainly doesn't look obvious and creates a nice soft shadow effect. Next, I'll outline my lips on the outer edge of my lip line with my L'Oreal lip liner and then fill in the lips softly with the lip liner as well. Next, I'll apply my Catrice matte lipstick in shade 60, which is a light pink. Using a matte lipstick like this prevents the lipstick from migrating into those vertical lines around my mouth. Over the lip liner and the lipstick, I'll apply a new product from Colourpop, which is a 6-shade extension of their Plumping Finish Gloss Bomb. These 6 new colors have a pearl glow, and today I'll use the color Cyberstar, which is a pinky lavender. I'm also going to apply a little bit of this color called Tiny Time. Tiny Time is at the top and Cyberstar is below it. Now this has a nice plumping, tingling feeling, but it's nothing strong or uncomfortable. Today's final 2 tips are all about creating a perfected, polished, finished look. First, gently tap a very slightly dampened sponge all around the face. The sponge helps pick up any excess product, which helps prevent our makeup from looking cakey. And it also adds a slight bit of moisture to the skin and helps blend all the makeup colors together. And the final finishing touch is applying this one-of-a-kind, nothing else out there like it finishing powder from Hourglass. It's their ambient light finishing powder, which comes in a regular or a mini size. And what makes this product so unique is that it creates a soft focus finish by reflecting and diffusing light, which creates a luminous airbrushed appearance. It does a subtle but really truly amazing job. I have the shade Mood Light. As I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in some additional eyebrow help or skin undertone identification help, be sure to check out these 3 videos, which are linked in the pinned comment section below, as well as in the description box. And if you'd enjoy getting more makeup tips and suggestions, as well as some fun recommendations for books, movies, TV, and more, all you need to do is click on the newsletter link below, and you'll receive my newsletter each Thursday in your inbox. Until next time, I wish you good health and happiness and hope you have a really special rest of your day. Take care.